And so when Rob mentioned things like patent and trademark work, for example, there are firms who don't have that expertise, so they'll come to us and they use us, or employment matters, or litigation, or transactional work. We're doing some transaction work right now for a law firm that doesn't really have that transactional expertise. So we can definitely help out. And I would say right now we're doing that primarily with smaller law firms, and it's kind of an extension of their expertise set where somebody comes to them and they can't do it. And so rather than turn the client away, it makes sense to use an alternative provider like CEO Law. I do think that there's a role for us to work with big firms as well, the biggest firms in Canada. And we've had some of those conversations, but we haven't really started. But that's where I think the fact that many of these big firms are creating their own internal ALSPs, it's about their own recognition that they need to come up with something where there's a better value proposition for their customers. And so that's what we can offer. I do think that in some cases, those alternative value propositions that get offered within the big firm, there is a question about why don't those lawyers work within the name firm? Like, why are they part of this, let's call it the value brand? And so that's an open question, and it may raise questions around, are those the best lawyers, or are they, is there some other reason why they're part of the value brand? With us, all of our lawyers are the best lawyers, so that's where we think there is a role for big firms to use us instead of building it, and maybe we can give them a higher quality product as far as the lawyers. But yeah, I definitely think there is a role for alternative legal service providers to not just work directly with the customers, but also work with other players in the industry. And I would say the same thing for technology companies too. So when Zena talks about there are companies in the space that provide technology solutions that may be around, due diligence for documents or incorporation or minute book management or, deal syndication, things like that. I think there's room for those companies to work with CEO Law, for example, and then we can expose all of those various solutions to our customers and then also to other players in the space who may be able to take advantage of that kind of collaboration.